Exactly. They're not always the same. And but what I hope to do is to catch parents when their kids are small, to teach them these things so that they can model that behavior, so that the kids can grow up knowing, okay, why is this person expect I can't, to say I can't do this, you're expecting this something that I can't do, and to give them
Mhm.
those words, and to have so that the parents can hear it and say, okay, let me get the help. Let me find out what questions I need to ask so I can hold these people accountable, whether it's the school system or the doctor or whatever it is that's supposed to help your child. If they're not helping your child, they're helping the average child that your kid is probably outside of that average.
Right. And you have to know your child. And that's why I start with an academic profile of the student so that you have a clear understanding of your child's abilities and disabilities, because
Mm,
you have to leverage those. So for me, when I'm looking at a child, I'm looking at their ability as well as their disability. What is
mm,
it that they're like? I know my niece is going to, two things she's good at: technology and advocacy.
mm.
So with that, I have to figure out, okay, how can I help her access life without reading, but she has great advocacy skills and great technology skills.
Right.
So, with her advocacy, she's always, Auntie, what does this say? And I say, well, use your device and let it read it back to you. And so we're practicing these stuff, and she's just in middle school. So we're
Mm.
practicing this stuff, and we've noticed, and I learned saw how quick she catch on. She went and gave everybody their own personal ringtone. I showed her
Mm.
one time, and she went in and changed everybody's ringtone. She even tried to change the ringtone on my phone. I was like, stop! I don't want everybody to have a separate ringtone.
Right, but how awesome is it that now we have the technology so that we don't have to kind of put them in the same box? They can be in their own box with this technology, and it's okay. And I like what you said too. I keep bringing this up. I like what you said too about the retention is not a solution, right?
Yes.
Why are you retaining? You're not working to their strengths. If there's a reading issue, but they might be great at something else. So why are they being retained? And then that messes with their self-confidence, and it's just a downward spiral
Absolutely.
from there.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not a research-based strategy that's good children who are struggling. So when people propose that, you need to know that. And that's where that knowledge come in. And there's a process. So in January and November, from November to January, they'll start sending out notices about retention for the end of the school year.
Mm.
So you need it by November, December, you start getting these notices. You need to act on these notices. And what usually happens is parents let it go on and on because of their emotional inability to handle it. They'll let
They
it
can't.
continue to go on and go on.
That's where I come in, Rose. They can't handle it because they're working 9 to 5. They're coming home, have to pick their kids up from school, have to get on the bus. If you're in the inner city, where I grew up in Manhattan, so I had to go to work, pick up the kids from after school, get on the bus, help them with their homework, then have dinner, and then have to spend time with my spouse. That's is you're not ready. You're not ready to put another thing on. So that's when the aunties come in. Auntie, come on, help a sister out.
Help a sister out. Auntie's got to help her. Instead of your sister getting on your nerve, put her to work. Put that sister to work. Say,
Hello,
girl, when
and
she call you,
she probably have
come
all
here.
these. She probably saying, "Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" Right? So let her to go ahead and say, "Well, why don't you do it? Why don't you help me out and you do it?" Right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
she has the
And turn it
resources.
into right, and turn it in a relationship to bond your relationship too, because when that person who's coming to you, who's nagging at you, want to brag about your child. They will be
Yes.
the first one bragging about your child. So change the energy in that relationship between you and your siblings, and then you and your friends. Instead of it be nagging, let's work on bragging about our nieces and nephews. Like
I like
I
that.
am, yeah, I
Instead of
am the number
nagging,
one.
bragging.
Instead of nagging, let's get bragging. I am number one avid, and everybody tell me, she's your favorite. She's your favorite. I'm like, no, all my nieces and nephew my favorite. Like I
Mm.
don't have a favorite. but I'm not going to sit up and not celebrate her strength. I'm not going
Right.
to tell her that it's not possible for her to accomplish whatever she wants to. We're going to this post-secondary academy workshop to let her see that she can go to college. There are opportunities
Hmm.
for her to learn social skills in college. If I put it and instill it in her now, guess what? She'll start striving for it. But I gotta first believe you need somebody to believe in you first. Especially a child, they need somebody to believe in them first. Well, that auntie is gonna believe in them first
Yes.
because that auntie had the luxury that the child not get on their nerve every day.
Yes. The auntie can send the baby back home, right? It's like being a
Right, right,
grandma.
right,
You
right,
can
right.
send a baby
I
back
walk in the
home.
door, she run to me like I'm the best thing
You
that since
know,
light bread. My children don't run to me like that.
you see, and then that's the
My
thing.
nieces and nephews do.
That's the thing, that relationship, that bond, that you come to your parents. The parents, you think that, oh, they don't know what you're talking about. How many parents have had their kid come home and you helping them with their homework, and like you don't know anything because the teacher said to do it this way.
Mhm.
So it's like it's that boundary where the kids automatically think that the parents don't know what they're talking about. So for them to have an aunt, for them to be lucky enough to have an auntie, for one thing, and then to have an auntie who actually can help out and have the resources, and that's wonderful.
You know what? Also, you know how you're the child, you'll tell your child something, and then somebody come in and tell them that same thing, and it's like,
Yeah,
didn't I just tell?
yeah. I tell a story where I know, like, all parents have always told their kids, especially their high schoolers, to go to bed early so you can wake up early and catch the bus, right?
Right.
Why? I told my son that at least 1,000 times. So he came home one day and he said, I'm going to bed early. I said, oh, that's great. Why? You haven't? No, because my friend at school said that if I go to bed early, then I can wake up early and won't be tired. I was like, oh, your friend told you
We
that,
told you
huh?
that. Right, 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 right. So,
I was like,
and
okay, if you have friends like that, then I'm okay with that. Trust me.
we're gonna celebrate the friends. But you as a sister can tell your sister, hey, I need you to talk to them about XYZ.
Yes.
You know what? I'm struggling with some. Can you help them with XYZ? And you again creating a bond between you and your that is the only relationship that I know of. Well, maybe the fathers too, but outside of your home that loves your child almost as much as you do,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
all of you. Who else? Your grandmama, your auntie. These are the people that love your child. But there's a relationship, grandmama relationship that's different. But the aunt relationship too, because of the age gap, is not as big as for the grandparents. Still can take you on the amusement, can pour in all that positive energy, so that when they have to do something that might be perceived as negative, you got enough clout. Like I tell my niece, yes, a lot, so that when I get ready to tell her no, I have enough clout with my niece to tell her no, and she can receive
Right.
that because she knows she's going to get some yeses.
And then when you back the mom up and say, well, no, your mom is right, then she trusts that. So that's a
Yeah,
level of trust.
right,
So,
absolutely. And I tell her all the time, like, you go ask. I don't care what it is. Go ask your mom and dad if they're okay with it. I'm okay with it. And you have to start practicing these things to show that there can't be no division. I don't believe in undermining the relationship of my sister with her children, as nor do I believe in. I don't mind undermine relationships. So it's all of us working in one accord to make sure that the student is successful. Because otherwise, it's going. A house divided cannot stand. You have to make sure that you are not your house that is not divided.
absolutely, because the kids, they can pick up on that. And that's another thing that I talk about, the soft skill part is, you know, your self-care. You have to model that because your kids are watching you. They watch the good and the bad. So you
Mhm.
model that behavior, self-care, of not undermining, whoever it is, the mom, the dad, the grandma, and because the kids are watching you. So if they see that you're being respectful, then they're going to be respectful. So
Yeah.
it's definitely that modeling, that behavior.
And you have to establish trust with your siblings too, that they know that they can trust you and that you're not going to create alienation called parental alienation. Like you have to make sure that what you're doing is supportive and not alienating the child from their parents, because that's not going to help the child nor the parent, and it's not going to help your relationship with your sister. So you need to make sure that that's something that you understand. Like, is my behavior supportive or alienating? Because I don't
Right,
want to create division.
right. And then once you break that, it's really hard to get it back, because then that's when you're in that fight or flight mode. We call it the post-traumatic stress. We think that's just for military people, but no, it's for anything. If you find that someone was disrespectful towards you, then it's hard to trust them again. That's that
Mhm.
post-traumatic. And so you had to really learn these techniques, the breathing techniques, the gratitude, the forgiveness, and really practice that. So, and then, maybe a situation where you need to take a break from your relative for some time, but really doing those expectations, making it easy, doing those like, what does this person expect of me and why, and is that fair? And if it's not, then really talking to them, asking them, holding them accountable. Look, I need this from you, and just holding them accountable, and this is why, asking for help or asking for space, and really holding them accountable for that.
And it's really good. I like the ask part, because so many times parents don't ask for what they need. But I'm also challenging the aunts to take initiative, because again, it's hard to say that, hey, I can't do this. It's really hard. Parents beat themselves up thinking that they have failed their child.
Mm.
That how, that I'm supposed to be the one who be able to do XYZ. When actually I don't like independence, I like interdependence. I'm a
Mm.
woman of faith. So I say, trust God, trust myself, and trust others.
Mm.
Because we have been told that independent woman. I want to get a t-shirt that says independent, and but a nod across the thing, because I think that was the worst thing that ever was told to Black women, especially,
Yes,
is that we are to
right.
be independent. We have
Independent and super moms and all it is, and the bad, no, we don't have to be all of that. We need help. We need to ask for help,
Yeah,
right? Yes, absolutely. I love that.
we need to ask for help. Yeah, we need to ask for help. We need to lean on our faith.
And just, Rose, I don't think we introduced each other. So I'm the Good Mom Coach, and I help good moms make motherhood easy. And Rose is the best auntie
auntie
ever.
ever. And I teach parents how to, teach aunties how to advocate for the academic success of the niece and nephew.
Absolutely. And we need it because moms need help. And what better place to get it from than your siblings,
Sister, yeah,
from your
from
sister,
your
whether it's a
sister, yeah,
sister friend or your biological sister, sister in love, whatever it is, we really
sister
need.
in the church, sister in the community, sister at the job place. It's really about reclaiming the African American village. That, we used to say that it takes a village to raise a child. We do. And there are people in the community that we call aunties, and that's a term of endearment. It's
I
not to,
love being called auntie.
I love being called auntie, even by people, teenage. I've had kids. I have my church children call me auntie. When I worked in the public school system, they call me auntie. And so, auntie is a term of endearment, because it's saying that I trust you.
Yes. Yes,
I
absolutely.
trust you.
It's saying that I feel a closeness to you like family. And
Mm-hmm.
I trust you. You're my
Yeah,
family, you know?
you be my family, and let me tell you, I have a story of I was a parent mentor for Atlanta Public School, working with parents who have children with disability, and I had a young man who, my daughter caught the bus to go to this program called Breakthrough Atlanta, and she caught it at Kennedy Middle School with the other kids who went to Kennedy Middle School. There was a young man there. His mom was incarcerated, and he was having a hard time with his auntie. And so
Mm.
I had to coach him on how to interact with his auntie until his mom got out. And when mom got out, it was the first place she came. She
To the
came up
auntie.
to the school to tell. She wanted to know who her son was talking about. This Miss Rose, Auntie Rose, who had been encouraging him and making sure that he was doing what he was supposed to do while she was incarcerated.
Mm.
So it really matters. And the children will speak about you, and they should speak about you in a way that honors you, not create division. That mom became my friend
Mm.
because I didn't want her to feel like I was talking down or disrespecting her or undermining her relationship with her son. So, it was a bond that was created, but it was because I stepped in the gap while she was incarcerated for her son.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I'm sure you teach other aunties how to do that as
Yes. And
well,
it
right?
has to be
Even
done
in
with
that.
love. Yeah, that's that, making sure you're not alienating. That's the biggest part of that. Like you're not looking down at nobody. You're not, and that took work for me too. I had to go from being an auntie to an overwhelmed mom to understand that it ain't easy.
Right. Sometimes you have to step in someone's shoes to realize, right? And like I
It
say,
ain't
we're
easy.
all good moms. We're just as good as our resources, as good as what we know.
Right.
Trust me, if I had known other things that I know now, then I would have done a lot of things differently. My kids came
Oh,
out fine. They were fine. They're great. They're great kids. But I can see where, maybe I could have done that a little. Maybe if I had this resource, it would not have been so hard. So
right.
that's why I have resources, and I want to say, Mom, it doesn't have to be that hard. It can be easy. And this is how we can do it. Let me show you some resources. Let me introduce you to Rose so you can figure out how to put
Right.
that auntie to work.
Right. And when they're stuck and they struggling, let me refer you to Anita so she can help you learn to make it easy, because until you get to that place of being
That
able to
mental,
exhale, you can't do the knowledge part.
you can,
So
as
there's a
long as,
dependency there between what we do that allows
yes,
for the student to be academically
long as
successful.
your body is in that tense mode, that, food insecurity, home insecurity, school insecurity. Now it's back to school time. And I'm thankful that I don't have kids in school, but it still affects me because now they're bragging now about, oh, we have dogs now that can sniff out stuff, and this is making the kids feel more secure. I'm like, I don't think that's what's making the kids feel more insecure. I think that's making them more anxious, and it's making them say, okay, I had to go to this environment where the dogs have to sniff my stuff, and I had to go through these metal detectors, and it's that anxiety that is hard to get rid of. And unless we teach them how to breathe and how to release that anxiety, they're not going to be able to learn to their fullest potential. Some kids can
Mhm.
do it, but there are a lot of kids. We call them the social, how you call it, the they're sensitive. They call them sensitive, right? And so
Mhm.
they can't just brush things off. They hold it. There was a
Yeah.
study that showed that when kids have the drills, active shooter drills, that stays in their bodies for at least like for weeks afterwards.
Mm.
They feel it in their bodies. They're tense
Right.
for weeks afterwards.
And there's I don't know if this is the book, but I know I heard about your body keeps the score, like trauma is
Yes.
stored in your body. So
Mm.
whatever trauma that you experience is stored in your body. And let me tell you, just as that overwhelmed mom and as the best auntie ever, learning how to woosah and decompress has been a journey.
Mhm.
It's been a journey. So I don't take anything lightly anymore. I know that it's going to take a lot for us to do what we need to do, and we need to lean on each other. We cannot do this work alone.
I agree. All right, Rose, is there anything else that you wanted to say?
I just want to say thank you. You have made this so easy and so enjoyable. I really appreciate you hosting this collaboration. I can't wait to see how many more Mom Biz Boss join us in this collaboration. I think this can be a great project for us. We can find if there's some grant opportunities out that people know of, where we can really just come together as a network and seek out ways that we can provide our services to the parents. I just think that there
Right.
are a lot
I
of parents
think
who need to know what we do.
Yes, with the diversity of all of us, I think we can have a panel and just like one of the participants asked, how can we help teachers? If we go around as a panel to schools as a resource for teachers and their parents, I think that would be a great benefit and asset to all of to everyone involved. So that might be one thing that we can work on as well.
Yes, I said, so there's three, there's, what people can do is they can go to my website, Creative Social Solution Specialist, um, at .com, and they can either sign up for a consultation, they can refer someone, they can sponsor someone, or they can donate to the work we do. We are social enterprise. We have a for-profit side and a nonprofit side. The nonprofit money is used to help those who can't afford our services.
Nice. Awesome. And I am the Good Mom Coach. I make motherhood easy. I actually have an academy, Village Academy for Families. And soon, ta-da, this is very breaking news, Rose. It's going to be a membership site where I will have resources such as those that Rose provides so that parents can really see themselves, for one, and get help that they need that they don't know they need. Sometimes you're researching stuff and there's so much out there on the internet that you really don't know what to think and don't know what you need. And so before you think, okay, do I need therapy? I'm scared. So this can be a place where you can come, get some resources. And if these resources are good, then that's fine. But if you feel like you need more, then this is that extra step. So think of that Village Academy for Families as that first step to the other resources that you might need. And I'm excited about that. And that's Village Academy, villageacademycourses.com.
Thanks, Anita.
Thank you, Rose. Thanks everybody for
Bye-bye.
listening. See ya.
Good night.
Bye.